You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
Together we are Raw Break. How's every single one of you? And now it's time to talk about NXT 2.0. You know, a show that every week is like different, confusing, and you know, Paul is already giving the thumbs down because it was a bad show. It's already starting to go down. You know, there's way too many people that have been introduced. There's way too many changes. I feel like that, you know, the whole show completely changed. So it's like, I think that it was just forced to us to adapt, whether we like it or not. And, you know, we got a brand new North American champion, not the way that like, we expected. So, Paul, you know, tell us a bit about this show.
I mean, I really think it's a lot of that. I mean, all the champions and a lot of the top contenders are still, you know, guys that we remember when NXT was great, but it's still so much new talent. And it's not even the fact that they're new. A lot of them just aren't very good. They shouldn't even be on TV. But it's really, ultimately, it's not even their fault. It comes down to the booking. That's the new problem here. And we're on what, week 4 now of NXT?
Week 4, around that.
Yeah, week 3 or 4. And this has been, you know, probably one of the worst weeks besides the one with the wedding. So I think the first episode, you know, and just, you know, bad booking really brings this down. So
no, it does. So we're going to talk about everything. So thank you so very much for being with us. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, help us out to keep growing, to keep, you know, getting more people that like share the show, that like do comments. So thank you so very much. And like you said, this show was going to be headlined by Santos Escobar and Isaiah Swerve Scott for the North American Championship. All of us, I think, thought that like Isaiah Swerve Scott was gonna drop the title to Santos Escobar. They did this angle that like they got El Fantasma kidnap all the members of Raw. So you know, pretty much Isaiah Swerve Scott was gonna be by himself, which is not fine. You know, I wasn't upset about it. You know, that's what like El Fantasma did at the beginning of like when they got together. So it wasn't bad. I don't know how you felt about it, but it wasn't bad for me. I mean, it's like it's how they do things.
Yeah, I mean, again, if they were really credible as a heel, but also if, okay, a cameraman sees them kidnapping and doing all this stuff, wouldn't an official be like, hey, what you're doing is illegal, you're going to get arrested and not have a championship? Again, there's no sense of realism here. It's all a joke, like it's in its own little comedy world. So, to me, not very good. I would have rather just seen both these guys be legit, and they each have their other 3 members of their team, and they say, hey, you stay in the back, you stay in the back, we're going to do this like men, and, you know, you have it be legit. But, you know, they chose to go the normal Vince McMahon Monday Night Raw route.
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, I would much rather maybe just see that, but, you know, they had to give us, like, this pre-segment or whatever, but then, you know, Joe Gacy starts, like, the show. And, you know, his character is very confusing. He was going to fight Tommaso Ciampa. If he would have won the match, he would have been added to the championship match at Halloween Havok. Another promo that is a little weird. Like, his character is like, you know, he wants to, like, kind of be like a saint or, like, redeemer. And, you know, clean this, like, bad vibe that there is in the NXT world already. I don't know how you feel, but I'm not a big fan of this. I don't like it. And, I mean, we knew that Tommaso Ciampa was going to win, so... why do we even use it?
Yeah, I mean, Gacy's character is just so stupid. You know, it's a dumb idea from Vince and Bruce Pritchard and all them. I mean, again, bad idea, bad booking. Like I said at the top of this program, really brings this whole show down. And that, I mean, he's not a bad wrestler. I mean, I'm sure if you gave him a different gimmick and whatever, you know, he'd be all right. He'd still be in the same place he is, a mid-card guy, but at least, you know, the gimmick wouldn't be awful. And the only problem is this went too long. Obviously, Ciampa won, fairy tale ending, you know, what it should have been, but it should have been a lot quicker. And then you have this aftermath thing with, you know, Brock Corbin or, you know, Baron Lesnar or whatever you want to call him.
Harlan, yeah, that's the name that they use for him.
Yeah, Harlan. He comes out and he pretty much just, you know, lays out Gacy and, you know, all this stuff. And then, you know, he just pretty much runs away. And then Gacy gets back up like in Ciampa's face. And then they kind of have another interaction. And, you know, when this is all going on, then Toxic Attraction comes out. So everything bled into one another. You couldn't even, commentary didn't even say, who the hell was this guy from the crowd? You know, where's security? What's going on? There was nothing. And then they're in the ring, and yeah, Vic and Wade, they're, you know, jerking off the Toxic Attraction. Like, oh, yee, yee, yee. No mention of, oh my God, you know, well, who was this crazy man? You know, so this was just complete, you know, just, again, that just, You know,
it's like from segment to segment, there's not that transition. It's not smooth. I mean, it's thrown to our faces. Like toxic attraction.
It was booked, and this is no offense to any of the shows or anything we've been, but this was booked worse than an indie show.
Yeah, no,
the way that they booked it, there was no break between segments. You couldn't sit and think. Again, no realism. And Toxic Attraction, you know, they come out and they cut the same promo they always cut. Oh, we want the tag team champions. Oh, you know, at Halloween Havoc, you know, they're not going to just be champions. I'm going to be champions, Raquel. Because then, you know, the match was added for the tag team women's championships at Halloween Havoc, all this stuff. You know, she's like, oh, I'm the baddest bitch, blah, blah, blah. You know, didn't we hear other people? Didn't Sasha Banks and, like, you know, Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, yeah, weren't they all the baddest bitch? So
yeah, so like they've been saying that for a long time. So like Mandy Rose like said that, but you know, like you said, is it just hard because it's just everything is like right there in a whole, and with just one mix. There's no transitions, there's no pauses, there's not anything like you said. Like let me soak this in and then move on to the next. Then we got also like in the middle of this, Raquel also like respond to like this challenge from Mandy Rose, the championship match at Halloween Havoc. She says that's fine, but like how about we you know, the standards like for this match, and let's do this, you know, with like the spin the wheel. So they're gonna do that, and you know, whatever stipulation comes out, they're gonna have the match like that. And I mean, it's a good start for like Mandy Rose. It's a good development for her. It's a good opportunity for her. We've never seen her having a championship opportunity before. Maybe remember she was about to have one with Asuka, but then Asuka ended up losing that SmackDown Championship. Like that was like before WrestleMania 34. So this has been the only chance for Mandy. So that's fine. She's not gonna win it though. Raquel is gonna retain, and at least something for this Toxic Attraction. Like you said, the men probably love her them. That's the only thing it is for me.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't actually be surprised if she wins it here. Again, I don't know what the plan is for Raquel. Maybe you want to call her up soon. You know, who knows? Maybe, okay, you know, I really don't know what the plans are, to be honest. But the one thing here is like the wheel stipulation. You knew, you know, they've been doing it the past couple years for Halloween Havoc. You knew they were going to throw it in there somewhere. Might as well be this match. And, you know, maybe it'll be a stipulation that helps Mandy Rose so Raquel loses the championship but still looks strong because the stipulation, somehow Mandy Rose maybe could have took advantage. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. I wouldn't be mad or upset if Raquel retains, but, you know, again, you debut all these new people and these new groups, and they get these opportunities and then they lose right away. It's like, why give it to them right away if they're just going to lose? So to me, you got to pull the trigger on somebody. Might as well be Mandy Rose.
Once you give that a big opportunity, held them out. Pull the trigger, like you said, is important to that. This is just like how when we have it, you remember, it's going to be on October 26th. The one thing somebody said I had to bury my past so I could have a future. That's Elias. Right there. That's Elias for every single one of you. Elias is going to come back.
There it is, the spoilers. You heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. It's Elias. You know, and it's not. I didn't even read the dirt sheets. No, I'm just saying, like, Elias is the one that's buried. Like, you know, the name, the character, the gimmick. He's going to come back different. So it's going to be Halloween Havoc, and it's fine because there's nothing that Elias can do in the main roster, in the current state of the main roster.
The only thing to that, to me, is going to be funny is he's going to debut, and you're going to have Vic and Wade and, you know, Beth. They're all going to be, holy shit, oh my God. And they're going to tell the audience, oh, you know, scream and be excited. What has he done? It's not like it's, you know, former WWE champion Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley. It's Elias. I don't think he ever won gold in the main roster.
No. Yeah. He never did. And probably the 24/7 he did. But I mean, if you consider that gold, if you consider that any type of championship, but that's what he did. So, you know, we go like Zion Wood. So, you know, so this guy like came out right after also. You know, that's another thing. He came out right after.
Was it Zion Quinn or whatever?
Zion Quinn. Quinn. That's the name of the guy.
The women were barely off the ramp. He comes out, checking them out, you know, checking out the cake. And, you know, again, the whole storyline on the whole NXT 2.0 is everybody is in love. Everybody bangs. Everybody's trying to date. And, I mean, yeah, it's real, you know, but it's, again, when it's in every segment, it's like, okay, you know, we get the narrative you're trying to push here. So he checks him out. Again, you know, he beats up Malik or whatever his name is.
Malik is his name. Yeah, Malik. But like Zion Villain, you said, like you know, like these guys, again, is like you give them 3 minutes and they want me to fall in love with them. You know, how am I supposed to do that? Am I supposed to, like, you know, be like behind the guy, be like, okay, he looks good or whatever? No, you give him like 3 minutes of your time. He's like, okay, pull it up, kid. No, again, you know, not interesting for me. I pass the page because I need character development.
And I'm sorry, to me, he looks like every other, you know, Samoan, Middle Eastern kind of, okay, I'm jacked. You know, I'm good looking. I got all the tattoos on my back and my arms. He looks like Roman Reigns with short hair. I'm like, next, I don't care.
Yeah,
you know
no,
I mean?
no,
like,
no,
you know,
thank
I
you.
don't care.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. So now, let's go to the next one. And like you would said, like Tommaso Ciampa is right there cutting a promo, and then he finds the Grill Team veterans. Why you keep burying everything that Triple H and Shawn Michaels did? Why you keep burying? Everything that like seemed to have a future. And they deserve that to be those tag champions. They've done the work. They're a credible tag team. No, they cut on promo once more time. Remember, they have the feud with Timothy Thatcher. Where's Timothy Thatcher? Done.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Bring Braun Breaker.
And that's the only reason I can think that they even went after Ciampa in this, because this made no... Well, I mean, it doesn't have to make sense, because in Vince and Bruce's mind, this was only done so they can have one last tag match with these two before they face each other at Halloween Havoc. There's going to be something... They'll probably come to blows and be punching each other, or, some craziness will happen where maybe Breaker accidentally hits Ciampa or vice versa, and I don't care. I mean, I'm excited for the match. I think it's going to be good, but again, the way you book it and everything, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then, of course, like this.
Yeah, and then in the process of making me not care, you're burying a tag team that has a lot of talent and, should be in the title picture, if not your champions. Again, put them to NXT.
They made it into a tag team match because, of course, they have to give you all these things so that you get behind this, like Tommaso Ciampa and Braun Breaker, like this feud that they have at the expense of the Girls' Young Veterans. And that bothers me because, again, out of like the four of them, the two are like tag team. The other ones are not. So like,
if anything, I'd rather see like I'd rather see not a contract signing where somebody gets put through a table and all that bullshit, but like a legit contract signing, or just see a video package and a promo. I don't want to see them every week interacting, like having matches and
I'm Braun Breaker. Oh, I want you to give me your 100% so you can have that match. I don't care. I don't care if you give me your 100%. I want to be champion. If you're in one leg, I can get my finisher and I become champion. That's all I need. I hate his all like fair play, all like baby face. I gotta like wait for you to be legit. No. This is just bad booking. I said bad storytelling. Also, let's move on to Isaiah Scott. He said that like he's gonna do his best. He's gonna end up like coming out of like NXT 2.0 and going to SmackDown with the North American Championship. It doesn't matter whether Santos Escobar has Legado del Fantasma or not. I mean, really good word like Isaiah Scott. I think that, potential. He's going to do well in the main roster. He has the character. He has the talent. He has the, like even Hydro. He has the guys right there by his side. So it's going to be fine. So, Paul, let's tell me about like this new girl, from Diamond Mine. And she, she just has the first opportunity. And that's Eve Nile, right? Oh, Evie Nile?
Ivy Nile. Yeah, I think it's
Ivy.
Ivy or Evie or whatever. I mean, like I said, she looks like, like a shrinky-dink version of Rhea Ripley or something, like, just the smaller, version of the kid version of Rhea. But I mean, no, this was all right. I like how Diamond Mine, well, I mean, maybe what happened afterwards, not so much, but I like how they were, they're a group that's over, they present them legit, they got the tough looking Japanese guy, now they have the chick, they have the tag team, and then they have the, the hatchet man, the worker, the leader, Roderick Strong, and the manager, Malcolm Bivens. So I'm like, okay, this is actually one of the few things here on NXT 2.0 that's good. But then after the match, we see this, Icky Man comes out and he's all yee, and it's like, on commentary, he's trying to put this clown over, and it's like, we don't care. But we know he's friends with Kushida, so we see Kushida come in, he and all this stuff, and I really don't care. But actually, did Kushida happen after the match?
Like he come in and have the match. He actually, he had the match with. Like somebody, like he came in and like I said, dancing and all of that. That's when when he did that, when I came in Jiro like did that, I was just already pissed off. And he just got a match with like Julius Creed. Julius Creed and him got a match, but like right away, like Julius like from Diamond Mine got the win. All of that, and then Kushida came out because they were attacking. Of course, they were attacking Jiro, so that's why he came out. Like they have the feud. He stole like the Cruiserweight Championship for him. So in the end, all the members from Diamond Mine attack, and in the end, all like. Both like Kushida and Jiro, like they're still done, and you see Diamond Mine celebrating. So the feud is going to continue. It's going to be a tag match, probably. All of that, like Jiro. I don't know if he belongs in the WWE. I don't know what you can do with the guy. Yeah, more people will say like Marco Stunt is in AEW, but like this guy is like not serious.
Well, I mean, at least with Jiro versus Marco Stunt, one is a grown man and the other one is stopped growing at 7 years old, but. no bad gimmick. And I mean, I'm sure that's his own gimmick. That wasn't a WWE assigned gimmick, considering he has all those jackets with his face on and everything. This is probably his gimmick, in the Indies or in Japan or wherever, but no, not something. I mean, but see, that's the whole thing. NXT 2.0 is goofy. And, for a while, they've been hiring these weird guys, and it's not, like we said, it's not what Triple H and Shawn Michaels and all them, created so many years ago. This is definitely
exactly. That's how I feel, like they need to, just like make it like if you're gonna give like this funny stuff, maybe flamboyant, and it's not working with Jiro. Just make it a little better, because when he comes out, I want to change the channel. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. So let's go to the next one, and this was a tag team match. There was like Von Wagner go again with Kyle O'Reilly against Pete Dunne and also Rich Holland. Don't you think? I want to ask you, like, don't you think that like this guy Pete Dunne, the Rich Holland, that they like had some kind of stocks invested into them, like they were main event talent, or at least they feel that they have for these guys. It was different. You see, like, okay, these guys are always gonna win. These guys like I always would lose on pay-per-view, things like that. Now they just feel very ordinary. They just feel regular. And probably
I want to ask you, I don't want to go too far into this, but I mean, do you think there's any chance that Triple H and them get so frustrated that they leave WWE?
Well, for Triple H,
I mean, yeah, because everything with Stephanie, but I mean, at some point, it's like, is it? I mean, I guess the marriage is worth it versus your own. Is it versus your own personal happiness and goals? Because I don't think they're going to let him do it. He doesn't do anything.
Oh, no. Well, right now, supposedly he's in recovery. He's not allowed to hear actually from business. They don't want him to talk about NXT. I guess he's recovering from this hard problem condition that he had before. But you can tell that the hand of Vince McMahon is dealing with the show, because everything feels so different, and he's bad different.
To tie that into what you were saying is, I do think they had high hopes for Pete Dunne, Rich Holland. Obviously, Pete Dunne versus Samoa Joe was a match we were going to see. And then Vince goes, he's like, this fat guy's not going to be our champion. We're not going to see any of this. I whacked the Rich Holland, so I want to see him versus Roman Reigns. So, he's going to SmackDown, and screw Pete Dunne. That's pretty much what what this was. And, the story, Von Wagner, can Kyle O'Reilly trust him? Oh, he's not there to make the tag because they took him out. Then eventually he comes in, he's the big hero and everything. And I mean, this isn't against Von Wagner, because you can't blame the guys for how they're booked. They don't book themselves, but he's pushed with Kyle O'Reilly, and it's like the narrative is we're supposed to care about him more than Kyle, I feel. And no, that's not what we want. We want Kyle O'Reilly. We want to see Kyle O'Reilly versus Samoa Joe.
It seems, we wanted it. Even O'Reilly feels, again, lost in all this mix of new talent, and because he never earned the respect that he was supposed to earn, it's just gonna allow loads in between them. You don't see him standing out. He's another one, and Roderick Strong. Both of them, I feel, as soon as their contracts are up, they're gonna go to AEW. Do Bobby Fish, and probably will do the Undisputed Era, but with a different name, with the Era Undisputed, whatever. They will do something like that. Something completely But you said these guys are losing their own identities that it took so long to build. For in the matter of 3-4 weeks, everything is lost. This show is feeling cheap. It feels like it should be on the WWE network. Should just be if NXT UK is on the network and this is on regular TV, shame on you guys. Shame on you, because I'd rather see 2 hours of NXT UK just for the way that everything is presented. Because this is not good at all. Because either we go to the school, the same thing with Andrew Chase. I mean, the promo is funny. We laugh a little bit. He does the same thing, and the same style of the promo from the very first week. Remember? Oh, he says something you shouldn't be doing. This or the feet on the rope or anything. It's aren't you doing illegal stuff? Oh yeah, then he kicks the guy out. Same thing. I mean, it's okay. It's funny at times, but I don't think that it should be this guy is not being presented with wins and everything. They become more characters than wrestlers.
No, this is completely WWF. This is complete 80s where everybody's a character. Oh, here's this guy. Here's this. This guy's a hockey player. This guy's a garbage man. This guy is or whatever. Nails. Yeah. This guy's a prison convict. This guy's a redneck. This guy's a Native American. It's everybody's a gimmick and everybody's a character. Nobody's a wrestler anymore. You know, even Duke Hudson's a fucking poker player. I mean, this show, and Andre Chase, he is completely awful. Same thing as well. He's just a jobber. He's right in there with what's his name from the first segment. You know.
Oh yeah, with like Jay-Z.
Yeah, Joe Gacy. Yeah, it's so bad.
I'm telling you, the ratings are going to keep going down. I'm just telling you because who wants to stand?
Imagine if like people who actually enjoyed wrestling, you know, they turned on their TV at 8 o'clock and it was NXT UK, and it's like, oh, look at this. You know,
it's actually real wrestling.
Imagine if you got to see, you know, Wolfgang versus Noam Dar. Holy shit, people would be, this is badass.
Yeah, the Dragon of now with like, you know, A-Kid, they will be great. Like, I agree with you. And that's why they don't, that's the idea of them, is giving us this type of like 5 seconds of wrestling and the rest is just character development, is like stories. And it's not.
This needs to be on YouTube.
It's a WWE Network, YouTube, you know, it doesn't, like the USA Network, like I think they're going to drop them. You know, for a few more weeks, they're going to drop him. There you go. Duke Hudson, like you said, he became a poker player going against Grayson Waller. And, you know, this was quick. You know, imagine, like, Waller already, like, I mean, they're trying to get these guys over.
Oh, yeah, Waller. Grayson, it's Waller.
Oh, Waller. There you go.
Yeah,
Waller. Like, Grayson Waller, you know, all of that. And, I mean, Duke Hudson won. You know, he, with the help of the ropes and all of that, I mean, fine. But, like you said, they're getting these guys ready for the main roster. So again,
I was at least glad that Hudson won, because to me, again, if you would have presented this guy as just a badass, you know, wrestler, a guy from Australia, you know, tough guy, whatever, okay, legit. But then you have Waller, who's like, oh, I'm a Golden Gloves boxer.
Yeah.
So first he was a jobber with what's his name, Drake Maverick. You know, then we saw him. You know, he had a good, almost beat Roderick Strong. You know, now I'm a daredevil. I'm a risk taker. I surfboard. I jump at airplanes. Now he's a boxer. Look at all. No, but they don't care. They literally go, our fans are so stupid. Nobody will care. Nobody will pay attention. They'll cheer for him anyway. Nobody won't. We know because this guy's elite.
Yeah, exactly. So he got the win. Well, we'll see what happens next. You know, Santos Escobar says that like he's ready to be the new North American champion. He has all his family because that's what we do. And you know, salud caballero. That's what he said. And you know, they're just gonna like be right there for him. And then he promises to win the North American Championship. All of these guys up to like this point, legit. If he would have won the title, it would have been the greatest thing ever. But you know, the Santos Escobar is gonna get also like jobbed out in a few more minutes. So let's go to Indy Hartwell and Persia Perota going against Saray and Amari Miller. This was like again Saray failed experiment. Really, really bad. That's one of like the first women in NXT that came from Asia that has been portrayed or like booked awful. Nobody knows who Saray is. She came with a big name. You know, there's not like the same thing that Kairi Sane, Asuka, Io Shirai, that like they were, you know, main players from the get-go. I don't like this, you know, Paul. And I mean, in the end, Indy Hartwell and Persia, they got the win. I mean, not at the expense of Saray, but like Miller. But still, she keeps losing. There's no character development with her. There's no big feud, no big match. And there you go. And then
she was having her feud with Mandy Rose, and then you can clearly see they said, "Hey, let's put all these hot chicks in a group, and you know, forget Saray." And this was also another thing with you had Zoe Starks, you had Dakota Kai, you had Raquel, you had Io, you were bringing in Frankie, you had Saray. This was Triple H and all them going, we still have the best women's division in the entire world of wrestling.
Yes.
And then Vince McMahon and all them said, huh? No, you don't. And they completely, so that was another thing like Pete Dunne. I mean, Pete Dunne is still presented a lot better than Saray, but it's another thing where, you know, they took Triple H's plans and his booking for what he was going to do with these guys and completely said, we're going to do it. Yeah,
exactly. It's like, fuck you, we're not going to do it. You know, no, we're not going to do it that way. You're right. I mean, they had like interaction also. Io came out. I like Io this time because it's like, I don't like you. But then, you know, Zoe tried, like, this interaction was simple, but at least effective. Because Io is like, don't talk for me. So like, you know, better English from Io, it was good. But in the end, you know, also Attraction like also like showed up. So you're going to see them in a triple threat match. You're going to see Toxic Attraction. You're going to see Indy Hartwell and Persia. You're going to see Io, also, and Zoe. So they're going to have a triple threat in what is going to be, you know, Halloween Havoc. So, I mean, and maybe they will lose the titles then. We'll see what happens with Io. Zoe has a great future as a single star. Io, like, I don't know. I'm very afraid of the main roster right now because Asuka means she's taking time off. But what are you going to do with Io? Again, I don't know. But I think they're going to give a new tag team champions just because every single champion is going to be new, aside from Tommaso Ciampa. That's at least how I think.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like making this a triple threat is the perfect way to do that. But I really don't know because I'm like, are the tag champs, the tag team MSK, are they going to drop their belts? Are they defending? I'm not even sure, and yeah, would you really want to take the titles off these two? And who would you put them on? I guess Toxic Attraction. But if you do that, then I think you should really do for Mandy Rose. I mean, I really don't know. But if you're going to do it to still make these two look strong, a triple threat match is, I guess, the way to do it. Then you can have Indy Hartwell and whatever her friend's name is.
Persia Perota.
Yeah, maybe they're the ones who eat the pin. I mean, that's what I would do. But, who knows how much they're pushing her with Dexter Lumis because love is in the air,
Oh, yeah, that one is another one. So you're right. So let's talk about really quick, like somebody else is going to also be coming to NXT UK, NXT 2.0, not UK, NXT 2.0. Solo Sikoa is coming soon. It's like another, seems like Samoan. I mean, there's so many guys. I for 1 second with the towel, I thought it was Minoru Suzuki, but it's not him. It's somebody else. There's just way too many guys. There's D'Angelo is going to be in action.
Yeah, what happened to the other Samoan guy who had a towel? What happened to him? Who used to be champion? What about him? But again, like you said, way too many guys.
There's way too many guys. It's way too many guys. And again, that's why everything seems like a little confusing at times. He's gonna debut, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what they do with him. Then Waller showing Cameron Grimes how to use Tinder. That's how we entertain audiences now. Because making Cameron Grimes look like a complete jackass, a complete idiot. Because everybody in the world knows what Tinder is for. Everybody, I don't understand this. So, Paul, that's why Cameron Grimes will never be, an asset in WWE just because his character is always going to be stupid, goofy.
Yep.
They always pass the fact that he's a good wrestler.
A lot of people said they were scared if Vince McMahon ever saw this guy, he was going to crank that goofy dial. Triple H and them already had it at 8 out of 10. But Vince he's gonna break the dial. He's gonna crank that thing all the way. So
yeah, so not good at all. No, and so Paul, let's go now to the main event, and that was Santos Escobar against Isaiah Scott. Good match, but we wanted here the main thing is that we wanted Santos Escobar to look good. He needed the win. He needed that title to one more time present Legado del Fantasma in the best way possible. Present him as the dominant faction in NXT. That was the opportunity. You had Elektra now, Elektra beat, Feebab, all of that. No, they didn't do that. I mean, the match was pretty decent. Santos, unfortunately, after losing the Cruiserweight Championship and the feud with Karrion Kross, completely lost everything, all the glare, the aura that you had on Santos Escobar. And in the end, the big surprise, Isaiah Scott not cashes in, but wins the match. There was the Legado del Fantasma came out. There was interactions right there, but like you said, also we still got to see Carmelo Hayes and Tricky Williams. They're out there, so you saw that something was going to happen right here, and you see Isaiah Scott on the floor, and you said it. He got a contract to challenge a champion, but it's not supposed to be Money in the Bank and they did it in that way.
Yeah, I mean, the match itself, like I said from the beginning, it really would have been better if it was just one-on-one, mano-y-mano, and it was badass. But then, it kept, and it was, for the most part, and I thought, okay, good, they're gonna, fight it out like men. Yeah, he was a little bullshit in the beginning, kidnapping the guys, taking them out, and this and that, but at least the match is gonna be clean. But then, like you said, Legado came out, these two came out, and I'm like, why are they helping him? And then I thought, I'm like, oh, he's gonna cash in. Or not cash in, but I'm like, he's going to challenge him because, they still have, 1 or 2 more weeks. So I'm like, yeah, maybe they'll squeeze one more quick match out of, Swerve Scott before he goes to SmackDown. But, but actually I was thinking maybe you don't really know. But I'm just thinking, okay, he's going to go after the North American title, pretty much. But then, the way they did it, just pinning Santos clean like that. And, he's done. To me, he might as well go back to AAA, wherever. He is completely done, and I hate to say that because I like him. I like the group. I like Elektra Lopez. I like everything about him, just not the way they're booked. And then, after this, he's done. I barely won. You know, you see Carmelo, he holds up his hand, you know, he hits him with a big clothesline. Then he cashes in his contract like Money in the Bank. And it's supposed to be, hey, I challenge you to a match. Okay, legit. We'll book it in 2 weeks or whatever. It's supposed to be something like this legit. Like a babyface should be the one to have this. It's not a Money in the Bank where, you know, that's more like a heelish thing to do. Because usually we see baby faces, they challenge early, like Big E. You know, those people, baby faces.
They already announced it early.
Yeah, they're not surprises. So I mean, obviously we knew he was turning heel, but again, the contract shouldn't have been given to a heel. But Triple H probably wanted him a baby face. Vince turns him heel. You know, he cashes in, and how stupid was that? He hits one big move, and Swerve Scott kicks out, and they look like, oh my God. I'm like, dude, you're still 100% and he's dead. Just hit another big move and he's done. And what happened? He hit another big move.
The big leg drop, and then that's what it was. And we have a brand new United States champion, and not United States, like a North American champion, my bad. Too many titles, but like he was a brand new North American champion in Carmelo Hayes, which for me, it just signifies that like everything is brand new. They want to completely eradicate. They want to move aside from everything that Triple H and Michaels built all these years. They just want to make this, to me, again, a more developmental talent, you know, get him ready for main roster, get him ready for like what is going to be like TV, like a big scenario. I don't like it. I mean, Carmelo Hayes, it's all right. I'm saying like the way that they did it is bad. I would much rather see Santos Escobar, because you need your champions at least to have name value in any single company. And, you know, maybe later, next month, maybe Halloween Havoc, that's when maybe you do the switch. Maybe later on in the next takeover, you could easily done it like that. But I mean, they wanted like to completely delete the past. There you go. That's what they did. So family, this is pretty much, you know, completes the show. Thank you so very much to every single one of you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And tomorrow there's not going to be Dynamite, because Dynamite is actually on Saturday. It's not because we don't want to do it. It's because of like it's Dynamite. It's going to be on Saturday. So, you know, we're going to be, well, on Saturday, we will be doing the video and everything, talking about everything that happens on AEW. So where else can they find us?
And guys, make sure you follow us for all of our updates on the social media. And that is Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. And of course, right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...